Shalom, everybody. Ariel Tzadok here from the KosherTorah School, KosherTorah.com, welcoming you to Rachel, Nevada, home of the Little Ailey Inn, and off to the side here, the authentic, the original, the only, one and only, Area 51. Well, being that we've been involved with so many years now with our Ancient Aliens television program, I'm recently out of the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles this last weekend, the end of February 2019. So, the Rabbanit and I decided we were going to take a trip up here to Area 51. I figured this would be a good place to share some interesting and I think important information. One of the big topics in the extraterrestrial ancient alien community that many of my peers on the television program are discussing, many people are asking about, is the topic of disclosure. Or in other words, when are the governments of the world going to let us know what they know? When are they going to tell us the truth? Well, that's a good question. And many people are offering many different insights and answers. You have all different types of claims being made by whistleblowers from inside the government who are revealing different secrets and the like. But I'm going to tell you something now that many of them may or may not know. I will tell you what, well, I won't say how I know, but I'll tell you what our governments do know. And the answer to that is this: disclosure ain't gonna happen. What do I mean by that? Our governments, starting back in the last century, literally there were private groups that got involved with what was then called spiritual and or occult practices. It opened doorways, vortexes, stargates. It led to government involvements, and I'm talking about governments like the Nazis, and later, of course, the Americans, the Russians, and obviously the Chinese, the Israelis, and God only knows who else. And they've all discovered something very profound, very true, and so devastatingly relevant that they're never going to reveal it. And I will tell it to you right now. On our television program, Ancient Aliens, Robert, our announcer, always asks, where did they go? Well, the answer is they never went anywhere. Simply because those, in quote, ancient aliens aren't from out there. They're originally from right here. They are the pre-Adamic civilizations. They are the dwellers in inner Earth. Take a look at what Colonel Philip Corso wrote in his book, The Day After Roswell, which is an authentic and legitimate, bona fide description of what happened there. And it will show you that the craft that they captured at Roswell, that wasn't an extraterrestrial craft. It was a local craft. It wasn't meant for flying in outer space. It was following the magnetic meridian lines on Earth. This is a craft that they call piloted by the Greys. We know the Greys as the Nishaya, one of the races from inner Earth. So here's the question answered. Where did the ancient aliens go? They didn't go anywhere. They're still here. They've always been here. But their technology has evolved beyond the mechanical into that which we can today call the spiritual. And as such, they have ways and means and knowledge and understandings of that which we call parallel dimensions. They're right here. They've always been right here. And this is exactly what the Bible has always taught us, that these are the ones who are called the Irinu Kadosh, the watchers. And they are watching. They are in control. In our rabbinic traditions, we call them the heavenly Sanhedrin. They are angels. Angels, remember, are not these sweet little nice guys all serving God so politely. They are a bunch of entities with their own interests, their own agendas. Essentially, there are angelic wars. This is very clearly described to us in the book of Daniel in the Bible, when the prophet Gabriel tried to approach Daniel to give him an answer of a meaning of a dream, and he was opposed by the angel of Persia. Since when do angels oppose one another? Well, we have the likes of writings like Rabbi Avraham Azulai's Chesed Abraham. Yes, there are real and true angelic wars. And these are very much playing into the scenario of that which we call today the end of days. I write about this in my book, which is a commentary to Kabbalistic secrets of the book of Daniel. I personally call it the secrets of Daniel and the end of days. I think I'm going to give it a different title, though, Angelic Wars and the end of days. Because if you really want disclosure, understand and recognize what it is our governments are concealing. They know of the existence of the angels, those entities who do exist in inner earth. They know and are very well aware of their ability, their power to influence psychologically, psychically, the minds of human beings. There is a real angelic war going on out there, and we're now involved. No, don't worry about the extraterrestrials coming down from the Pleiades or these other star systems. We have to worry about what's happening right here on our Earth with those who we are not aware of existing in a parallel dimension right next to ours. They are here. They've always been here. Think about it like this. If our governments were to describe or define, let's say, an alien civilization somewhere light years out there, and we made a public statement saying, yeah, we made contact with some alien civilization 5, 10, 20, 50 light years away. Maybe in 100 years from now we'll make contact. Everybody would be excited. It would be the new entertainment. And it would die down after a while because it wouldn't change our everyday lives. But if our governments were to say, those extraterrestrials are actually terrestrial, they're here, they're among us, they're watching us, and we have no control over them. That's the devastating truth. And that's something which would create such global panic. It would lead to the devastation and destruction of civilization as we know it, as people would totally freak out knowing that their lives are really not their own. But this has been the religious message ever since the beginning. We have always said that there's a higher power in charge, God, and that there is essentially these angelic forces, and we interact with them, and the power of that which we call righteous, moral behavior generates powerful, energetic vibrations which both protect us, preserve us, and provide for us blessing from heaven. Whereas those who vibrate in other forms of energy, negative, well, they create their own harm. Think about if our governments were to disclose that. No, there will never be disclosure. I got a little doggy running around here. Maybe he's an alien. No, there's never going to be any kind of disclosure because the forces and powers that be don't want it. I will tell you that when disclosure comes, and it will come, the governments that are holding the secrets now will no longer be here when that time comes. Because when it comes time for, in quote, them to act as they will, as is prophesied in the end of days, and they have no further need for human governments, and they will act as they will. Right now we have the power to influence things for positivity, for good, for righteousness. That's what our KosherTorah school is all about. It's not to give you academic education, but experiential ability to enter into the angelic wars and make a difference for the side of light, right, good. So here we are, Area 51, the real deal. What's out there?